Folks, we've made it. The major fight is confirmed. We will be having Superlek putting his title on the line against the 3-division K1 champion, Takeru. This is a battle of Muay Thai and one championship facing off against K1 and kickboxing. Folks, welcome to Kick Weekly with Tim Wheaton. I'm your host, Tim Wheaton. Let's get into some kickboxing news and action from the week that was. After weeks of speculation, it is now official that Rodtang Jitmuangnon is injured and has withdrawn from the match against Takeru. This is for January 28th, live from Tokyo. The main event will now be Superlek Kiatmukau versus Takeru Sagawa with the one flyweight kickboxing world title on the line. We had been speculating about it for weeks about Rodtang, who clearly was in a cast or was trying to hide his arm. There was a few photos from him playing soccer where he was clearly in a sling, but it wasn't official, it wasn't confirmed. And on Friday, last Friday, One Championship had made the announcement that it is actually official. It is actually confirmed that we will be having Superlek versus Takeru. Now, it's a pretty good matchup as Superlek is holding the kickboxing title. He has a background in Muay Thai. He was a multi-time Lumpini Stadium champion. He was a WBC Muay Thai champion. He also beat Rodtang in his most recent match, a 3-round war from Lumpini Stadium. He was scheduled to defend his kickboxing title against Elias Mahmoudi, which would have been this Friday, January the 12th, but Mahmoudi dropped out due to a rib injury, so just move Superlek's 5-round title fight a few weeks later to face Takeru, which is a much better opponent. It is arguably an improvement for both men on paper. It just has a little bit less hype because of how big of a name Rodtang is. Rodtang fights tend to bring a little bit more. He is the face of the organization. Even though Superlek is the better fighter, a title, he just beat Rodtang, so it should be a much better fight on paper, but it just loses a little bit of that hype of having Rodtang fight. But let's talk a little bit about Takeru. For the past decade, he has been one of the top pound-for-pound kickboxers. If he's not number 2, he's number 3. He's always ranked in the top 5. The Japanese-born striker has won 3 K1 Grand Prix titles across 3 different weight divisions. He also has 3 division titles in K1 across 3 weight classes and has defended each title. He is most notable for his aggressive striking and punching style. Like, impressively, it's just amazing stuff. But between 2012 and 2021, he went on more than 30 fights for an unbeaten streak until he faced Tenshin Nasukawa. Tenshin now switched to boxing and they had a blockbuster fight and it was awesome. It was just great stuff. He just picked up an ISCA title in Paris when he knocked out Bailey Sugden via head kick knockout. Takeru just brings action. He's just such a fun fighter. On the matchup itself, Superlek is a much more challenging matchup than Rodtang was. Rodtang was, he is foremost a punching style fighter, a Muay mat. Whereas Superlek, like his nickname is the kicking machine. Superlek translates to English as kind of like super kick. He is a kick-based fighter, a Muay. Which Muay is it? Oh my God. He is a Muay Thai fighter. But overall, he's a technician, right? So even though he may be a kick-focused fighter, that shouldn't just be the narrative around him, because technically he is sound in every area. He's a great puncher. He knows how to shut down aggressive punchers as well by utilizing the clinch. He is particularly versed when it comes to elbows, and he is particularly versed when it comes to knees. So this being a kickboxing fight, things like the elbows and the clinches will not be in Superlek's favor, but he is still so precise and tactical. He is so accurate with his punching and his punching and kicks. He is also great at combining these to shutting opponents down. So it should be a very competitive, it should be a very exciting fight. But this is what Takeru had to say on the change of opponent. He just sounded crestfallen talking about this on social media, and he posted it in Japanese as well as English, just so he was hoping that there was no mistranslation. So my opponent for my one debut at January 28th, Rodtang, has been cancelled and changed to Superlek, and I'm going to fight for the One Championship World title. I have been preparing to fight Rodtang for a long time and sacrificed many things for this fight, so I was shocked and disappointed. But now I'm excited to face Superlek and fight for the world title in my one debut. I will win and show the world that I'm the best of the best who is the king. Thank you for the love and support. Please keep your eye on me. January 28th, I'll be the world champion. And then he continued, and again just sounded disappointed. I don't know how many more fights my body will last. I've been preparing to fight Rodtang for a long time, so there are a lot of things I thought about. To turn this into an opportunity against Superlek, who beat Rodtang, I decided to take on the challenge, because you don't know when the life of a fighter will end. Fight now with all your strength. There are some people who want to cancel their tickets because the opponent has changed, and some who don't want to watch the pay-per-view. Seeing my final fight as a fighter, I want to burn it into your eyes. Be sure to become a champion on January 28th and prove I'm the world's strongest. Please provide some support. So he is saying, watch the fight. I am accepting Superlek, world champion. It is really exciting. But he also mentioned twice how disappointed he was that he isn't fighting Rodtang specifically. So the thing is, like, his name is K1 Takeru. Ever since he was a child, he was inspired to get into K1 because of the fighters he was watching on TV. He's always wanted to fight in K1, and he is so proud to be a K1 champion and represent K1 around the world. After losing to Tenshin, he left his titles behind and started traveling the world, but mainly he was chasing Rodtang. Like, these two, even before the Tenshin fight, both of these fighters were calling each other out as early as 2021, and even before that, they were talking about each other. And as soon as he became a free agent or a free agent under Abima so he could travel, Rodtang and Takeru were calling each other out because that's the fight that Takeru wants. And you can see in some of the sparring videos against people like Superbon and Nongo and Yuki Yoza and other people like that, he is preparing for a style of fighter who is similar to Rodtang. So he's been preparing for this for quite some time. He had Rodtang on the mind for quite a while. And he is just disappointed that it's not Rodtang. That's the fight he wanted because that's the face of the organization. That is what people will always remember as the best of Muay Thai and the best of one championship and stuff. But on paper, for his legacy, this is a very good fight if Takeru is able to win. But it's a really tough fight to pick. I think this is a much more competitive, it's much more close matchup. Superlek is such a dangerous and highly skilled fighter in every area of kickboxing. He's going to make it a really challenging fight for Takeru. And Takeru also recognizes that he has lost his step. He's slowed down just a little bit, and he's not the fighter that he once was. Maybe the toughness isn't there, maybe the speed isn't there, but he feels like something is missing. He feels like he's a little bit of a different fighter than he was 5 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever it was. Whereas Superlek seems to be right in his prime at this time. This is maybe the best Superlek has been in a while. So that's going to be January 28th, live from Tokyo. It looks like it's more of a co-promotion between Abima and One Championship, but I'm so excited for this fight. This is going to be a real good fight, folks. Takeru and Superlek, just a banger, up and down. This is such a big fight. The best of Muay Thai versus the best of kickboxing. The best of one championship versus the best of K1. This is organization and sport versus another organization and sport. These are the kind of fights that you and I live for. All right, let's get into some Glory Kickboxing news as some title fights for the March 9th event has been revealed. The March 9th event will be hosting the 8-man Heavyweight Grand Prix, and I'll talk a little bit about that, but let's talk about the two title fights first, and then we'll get to the Grand Prix. The lightweight title will be on the line as Tejani Beztadi will look to defend his throne against the German Enrico Kell. The Wonder Boy Beztadi is most recently coming off of a 5-round dominant win against the shootboxing champion Kaito Ono, and this was his 4th title defense, so he's looking to make it a 5th title defense against Enrico Kell. The Hurricane Enrico Kell has picked up 2 top-rank wins since signing with Glory. Before that, he was competing in one championship. Before that, he was with WLF in China. Before that, he was bouncing around in like K1, WLF, places in Germany, things like that. Most notably, he does have a K1 championship victory over Buakaw Shamak. A little bit of a weird victory. I think they fought to a draw officially, and then Buakaw just forfeited the fight because he didn't. It was like the judges are fixed or something like that. It's a real weird thing. And it was also K1 championship in 2014, which isn't really considered canon in a way. But officially a win's a win on paper. Enrico Kell picked up a K1 championship against Buakaw. But the highly skilled Enrico Kell will be looking to capture a Glory lightweight kickboxing title, and this will be the biggest This would be the biggest title of his career. This is the biggest fight of his career, and Tejani Beztadi is looking for his 5th title win, and maybe his career best in all honesty. And we also have a light heavyweight championship fight happening as well, as Donegi Abina is again scheduled to fight Tariq Kababez. Tariq Kababez being the interim champion. Donegi Abina This is the third time the fight has been booked against one another. This will be Donegi Abina is looking to add the second defense of his light heavyweight throne, as he had just defended it against Muhammad Touchasi. Tariq Kababez has bounced around between heavyweight and light heavyweight. He's fought a rogues gallery in these weight classes. People like Rico and Roman Curricula and Antonio Plazabot and pretty much everyone that you can fight, he has fought in those divisions. Now he's coming off TKO wins against Daniel Toledo and Muhammad Amine, so now he picked up a interim title and will now fight for the championship. Donegi Abina has had a really interesting career. He's a really good guy to talk to as well, but he's had a bit of a career resurgence as he's aged up. He's still quite a young man, but he was one of the youngest fighters in Glory history. And when he was younger, he had the opportunity to become the youngest champion in Glory history, but standing in his way was Alex Pereira. He had losses to Alex Pereira, Artem Vakatov, Sergey Masloboyev, like no shame in any of these losses, but he really recovered well after these losses and he really grew into his skills, grew into his body, and became a much better fighter than he was. I mean, he was able to avenge the loss to Sergey Masloboyev. So the long-awaited fight between Donegi Abina and Tariq Kababez has been scheduled for the third time with the light heavyweight championship on the line. This will be March 9th from the Helder Dome, which is in Arnhem, the Netherlands. Let's talk about the Glory Heavyweight Grand Prix. They were setting it up to be the end of 2023, but it got pushed back into Q1 2024. Now we know that it will be March 9th. All of last year, there were elimination fights and qualifying fights and one-night tournaments to figure out who was going to be in this Grand Prix. And the biggest question of all was, will Rico be in this tournament or not? And yes, the heavyweight king, Rico Verhoeven, has agreed that he will be in this tournament. So excitingly, it's a one-night tournament. It's an elimination tournament, 8 men. So if you are the winner of this tournament, you will fight 3 times in one night. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's really going to be exciting. The full lineup is the champion, Rico Verhoeven, Antonio Plazabot, the former title contender, Cookie Tariko Saro, Levi Rigters, Uku Yuryandal, Bahram Rajabzadeh, Nabil Kashab, and Sofian Laiduni. The thing is with tournaments in combat sports is that it doesn't always reward the best fighter, especially with one-night tournaments. It's often the fighters who are the most well-conditioned and the toughest. And that quite often means that it goes to the youngest person, because having to fight 3 times in one night is a massive feat. Having to fight 1 time in one night is massive. And that's why so many fighters take such a long time off in between fights, months in between fights. And now we're asking fighters to take 3 fights in one night. So quite often, as we've seen in tournaments in the past, it may not be the best fighter, it's just the toughest fighter with the best conditioning, which means this tournament could be won. Like, let's say Uku Yuryandal just gets a bunch of first-round knockouts to the final. That's great. Nabil Kachab, he's clearly tough and he's clearly well-conditioned. As much as he is an underdog and Uku Yuryandal is an underdog, in a tournament format where you have to fight 3 times in one night, they actually have a very good chance to proceed. Especially when you get someone like Rico Verhoeven, who sometimes gets injured in one fight, or he gets hit a lot in one fight. He comes back and wins, but what if he has to fight right after that, right? Going from a fight against, like, let's say Bahram Rajabzadeh, you get beat up a bunch, but you win. And now you have to fight Antonio Plazabot? You know, someone like Rico Verhoeven, and he has won tournaments before, but that was when he was much younger, much hungrier. So we'll see how it goes. Tournaments have interesting storylines around them. They're always a ton of fun because they're full of drama. They're full of these quick things that happened. And you could have we don't know the alternates at this point. I'm hoping it's someone like Jamal Ben Sadiq or someone real fun like that. We don't entirely know at this point, but we will find out, because tournaments always have someone drop out because they're just so injured, right? Cookie Tariko Saro could win the first fight, but you know, his leg or knee is completely beat up and he has to drop out from the tournament. You will always need an alternate. But yeah, it's going to be a really fun one. So 2 title fights are scheduled for this event, plus the Heavyweight Grand Prix. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a really fun one. All right, let's talk about RWS Muay Thai making its debut in Tokyo. All right, now we just got all the casuals out of here. We talked about Rico and Glory. We talked about Rodtang and Superlek and One Championship. You know, the casuals are done listening. So let's just talk here, man. You know, let's just talk. We just got the folks left here. We just got the real hardcore folks. Folks, if you like RWS Muay Thai, then let's talk a little bit. So RWS Muay Thai has been doing a couple years in Raja Damnaran Stadium in Bangkok, Thailand, has put on some really fun events, and their product has always been a little bit tailor-made to foreigners. So they give knockout. It's a tournament format. They give bonuses to knockouts. They give bonuses for like fighter of the year and stuff like this. So they're trying to do stadium Muay Thai rules, but much more exciting and much more accessible to foreigners. And if you look at their website, one of the things that they're really trying to target is when you are visiting Bangkok as a tourist, the framing of it is that your visit is not complete until you see Rajadamnern Stadium, which is one of the oldest stadiums in Thailand. It's kind of the original. It's the OG Muay Thai stadium. So they're trying to frame it as a very cultural thing, but still targeting foreigners for this event. So yeah, that's RWS Muay Thai. But now coming up later this year, they will be making their debut in Tokyo, Japan, and they have booked Korakuen Hall. Now, I've gotten unconfirmed reports, and I tried asking RWS about this, but I think tickets went on sale yesterday and it's already sold out. It may have sold out in 2 or 3 hours. I don't know that RWS has that many followers in Japan, or something like happened on the website, or some like a reseller picked up all the tickets. I don't know, but right now it is showing officially sold out. I asked RWS and they weren't entirely certain as well. You'd think if you are making your debut in Japan and it sells out in a few hours, you'd be bragging about it. But maybe they didn't entirely know, or it was a system glitch. But as of now, the event is officially showing that it is sold out here at Korakuen Hall. So Korakuen Hall, if you are a hardcore listener, I don't have to explain to you the significance of this building. It is the hotbed of Kakatogi in Japan. All sorts of legendary fighters, events, and wrestlers have gone through here. Everything from Pancrase, various pro wrestling, All Japan Pro Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling, MMA, Letway, boxing, kickboxing, and Muay Thai have all taken place in this building. It opened in the 60s, and again, Boss Rutan has competed in there. Minoru Suzuki, Antonio Inoki, all these people have competed in there, right up to legends of today like Tenshin Nasukawa and Takeru Sagawa have all competed in this building. So I want to write an article about like a love letter to Korakuen Hall or something like that, because it is just a legendary building. And I think as much as we do like the building in kickboxing, because we have so much rise out of that building, like rise just lives out of the building. Really, I think it's such a pro wrestling building that pro wrestlers talk about this building like it's a hallowed ground type of thing. Anyway, let's move on back to RWS Muay Thai. So the first RWS Muay Thai in Japan will be headlined. Nadaka Yoshinari will be taking on Prey Prao Petyindi Academy. This match will be unifying the Rajadamnern Stadium Super Flyweight title. So Prey Prao won the Super Flyweight title, I think in 2022, I want to say, or 2023. And then Nadaka Yoshinari was the interim champion in that division. So now they're going to unify the titles live from Tokyo. Should be a really fun one. I'm really looking forward to that one. Nadaka Yoshinari, he's looked unbeatable. He is like Mr. Muay Thai right now. He is only 23 years old, but he's on a 27 fight win streak at the moment. Just last year in 2023 alone, he picked up 9 victories in Muay Thai. 8 of these were by knockout, and he was able to win 2 titles in Rajadamnern Stadium. So he's must watch. He is absolute must watch TV. He's always exciting. He's always fun. He's highly skilled. He's young. It's just awesome to see. This card, yeah, definitely tune in for this one. I will let you know how to watch it. I expect that it will be DAZN for all around the world, or if you are in Thailand, it should be on YouTube. Also on the card will be Lamnam Moonlek. He will look to extend his win streak against Renta. Lamnam Moonlek is the 2022 and 2023 Rajadamnern World Series tournament champion for the 135-pound division. So he's a 2-year champion in the tournament, and a very exciting fighter as well. So yeah, make sure to check that out. That's going to be coming up February 12th, I want to say. Yeah, February 12th there. We have some Muay Thai coming from One Friday Fights 47. This will be the 3-time Lumpini Stadium Muay Thai World Champion Sua Kim taking on the Russian Alexei Baliko. Should be a really fun fight. Make sure to check it out, or at least catch the highlights. It's going to be a very good one. Ooh, Ferrari Fairtex is also on the card. That was one of my keep an eye on this person, and then it didn't really pan out. But yeah, Ferrari Fairtex still very good fighter. Compet Fairtex is also on the card. Yeah, it should be a really good one. There's always good fights on the Friday Fight series. On the One Fight Night 18, there is a mix of MMA, kickboxing, and some Muay Thai. I'll do a quick rundown on some of these. Sua Black is going to be fighting Stefan Karodi. Sua Black is just so cool, and he's so good. He's on a huge fight win streak, all by knockout in one championship. He's got some super big thighs, and For various reasons, his Muay Thai skills and his legs, he is must-watch TV. You also have Rungwar Rari taking on Shakil Al-Takriti. Liam Nolan had to drop out of his previous fight, but now he is back and to be fighting Ali Aliyev. But Liam Nolan really is trying to aim for a title in lightweight Muay Thai. He's just coming off a win against Eddie Abasolo. He trains alongside Jonathan Haggerty. And with a win, Liam Nolan is really trying to align himself for being the next title contender against Rekyan Ursel. And there's not a ton of people in that division, so 2 wins in a row might be enough there. You also have light heavyweight kickboxing with Yuri Farkaz versus Beybulat Isayev. Yuri Farkaz is fresh off of his Road to One tournament championship victory, so he won the Road to One series, and now he'll get his chance to fight in Big One. He's also a full contact ISKA champion. Now, full contact, if you don't know, it's like the original kind of American style of kickboxing where you cannot kick to the legs. Beybulat Isayev is a skilled Russian fighter who has picked up Muay Thai and kickboxing titles in Europe. So it should be a fun little fight here. And I do wonder if the winner will be next in line for Roman Curricula because he doesn't seem to have a lot of other people there. So maybe 1 win is enough there. So yeah, that is the upcoming events for One Championship. We also have this weekend Rise 175, and I will talk about the fights that I know. Chan Hyung Lee, the Korean fighter. He is so exciting. He is always must-watch TV. Like, whether he's getting hit, he's always trying to come forward. He's always so aggressive. He is a forward-facing fighter. He's got a mix of wins and losses on his career. He is the champion defending his title in here, but he is always must-watch TV regardless. He's going to be fighting Taiga, who was a mix of like, most of his career, he has had losses at the highest level, but just recently it looks like something changed and he started to really put it together. And he's on a really impressive fight win streak. He just beat Hayumi Hitachi in his past fight, in his most recent fight, and that's really good. So now he gets a shot at the title, and I do suspect Taiga might win this fight. He is working with Try Hard Gym, so yeah, it should be a really fun fight. It's 2 very experienced kickboxers, 2 very exciting kickboxers. It should be a good one, actually. I'm hoping for a nice like 5-rounder, goes to a draw, gets a 6th round, something like that. Also on the card is the 2023 Female Fighter of the Year in Kickboxing, Arina Kobayashi. She will be taking on Chin Long Wang from Taiwan. Arina Kobayashi, talked about her a bunch already. Massive fight win streak, was able to defeat a few champions last year. She's a former national karate champion, only 23 years old and getting better. Really what stands out is just how much, like head and shoulders, she seems to be above the competition. She's just 1 step ahead of everyone in this weight class. And she's going to be taking on Chin Long Wang from Taiwan, who's going to be debuting in Rise. I think Arena probably gets a knockout win here. The title isn't on the line, which changes it a little bit, but yeah, I expect Arena. Just by the looks of things, I think Arena gets a nice knockout win here. Should be a nice easy layup win for Arena. And the rest of Rise 175 should be pretty good as well. I'm not a huge expert on everyone else on this card, but maybe there will be another kickboxing podcast that's a little bit more J-Kick focused in the future, but we shall see. If that happens, I will keep you informed, and then you can break these down a little more, but I will watch the card and let you know which one of these fights was important for the future. I need some themes for the coming weeks because we're looking pretty dry on the kickboxing side. Like Glory doesn't even have an event until like March. K1, I don't think they have anything till March as well. Like or February at least, but I need something here. One Championship doesn't have a lot of kickboxing in the next little while here. Obviously the Takeru and Superlek fight is going to be really big, and that's on the 28th, but this is a weekly kickboxing show. And folks, give me some stuff to talk about. Give me some subjects, give me some fights. I don't know. Any questions that you folks have, please let me know. I'm going to try to do a few, something a little bit more in depth, especially for the Takeru Superlek fight. But yeah, let me know what you guys want to see me talk about, but know that I'm out here suffering, trying to find something to talk about here. Shoot me some questions, whether it's on Instagram or Twitter or in the YouTube comments. It's all a great place to try to reach me and talk to me. So folks, massively appreciate your time. This has been Kick Weekly with Tim Wheaton. Thank you so much for listening, folks, and I will see you next week at the same time.